What a good account Bangladesh give of themselves these days in ODI cricket. Just because they've been out-batted doesn't mean they've been outwitted. They stood there, they managed to play out their 50 overs, they've managed to help contribute to a World Cup record of 714 runs, the most number of aggregate runs ever scored in a World Cup encounter. But Australia were too good on the day. David Warner has continued to impress, continues to pile the runs, takes top spot and manages to secure Australia's points and their win, courtesy of his 147 ball, 166. That after Aaron Finch won the toss, batted first, hit a 50 of his own and saw Usman Khwaja return to form as well. So many more boxes ticked for Australia. Bangladesh's big four all got runs. Tamim Iqbal, Shakib Al Hasan, Mushfiqur Rahim, Mahmudullah, but 381 was just far too many in the end. On ESPN UK for Matchday UK 2019, we're looking back at that game, which still oozes hope and optimism for Bangladesh, but at the same time now creates a significant gap between the top four and the rest in this year's Cricket World Cup. We'll talk about the consequence of that game, look back at Bangladesh's performance with Shahryar Nafees, and before that we'll talk to Michael Hussey and Murali Kartik as well, just to confirm what the results of the last 2 days have done. The World Cup perhaps needed South Africa and Bangladesh to cause the upsets and secure points, because what you see now is 7, 8, 9, 10, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you think India look good to double their, to add another 2 points against Bangladesh over the weekend. New Zealand play the West Indies. Tomorrow it's England versus Sri Lanka. So by the time this weekend is done, it could very well be a matter of, well, not formality, but certainly customary as to who ends in the top four. Anyway, that's for later. For now, it's about Australia picking up the points and reclaiming top spot, Michael Hussey, in what has to be described as a supreme display of batting that's carried the day for them.
Yeah, I think Australia will be happy in the end, but they had to fight all the way. Yes. I really like to tip my hat to Bangladesh and the way they chased down the total. It was a huge total they had to chase down, but they gave a great account of themselves. They never gave in. They fought hard all the way, and certainly at various stages, I think the Australians would have been a little bit worried. But I just think, if you put the two sides next to each other, I feel as though the Bangladesh batting has improved so much that it is almost at an equal with Australia. Sure. But I feel as though the bowling, the difference between the two teams is on the bowling side. So if Bangladesh can really focus on that area on the bowling side of things in the next few years, keep improving that area, find a couple of nice mystery spinners and someone with a bit of pace, then I really believe they can get right up there in the world rankings.
No, that's a huge statement, and I think it's about how much Bangladesh's batting has improved. You'd probably put them second to India now in terms of just consistency, ability to fight. They never gave it away. I mean, even sometimes 380s, you'd see teams swing hard and, you know, the intent to win is gone very quickly. It was there till about 43, 44 overs there.
Completely echo what Huss said. The way they played. Look, a couple of soft dismissals of Shakib Al Hasan and Tamim Iqbal, you never know where they could have been.
Because that actually run out to start.
Exactly, that actually put a bit of a break. But the way everyone came in and just started playing with so much confidence. Huss is absolutely right. Their batting looks in great nick. It's just a question of getting the right type of bowlers and finding that bowling unit which can constantly counter these new rules and regulations. I think that is what it is all about. Even over here, even people like Pat Cummins and Mitchell Starc were dumped into the crowd as if they were like normal bowlers. So that tells you the quality of the way Bangladesh have improved their batting and their supreme confidence in the fact that they can back themselves to get overhauled targets. 333, actually for a bigger part of it, I actually thought that there was a fight there. And they're absolutely right. I think Bangladesh are on an upward curve in terms of world cricket. And I'm pretty sure, as Shahryar said, they might want to look at the kind of bowlers, if they have the talent, that is. You can't just suddenly go and have a magic wand and get leg spinners and fast bowlers. But as long as they have the talent and they pick them, I think they're in great shape.
Right. Before I go to Shahryar, it's just that feeling when you know your bowling's a little vulnerable or the weaker element of your game. I'm thinking there'd be 4 or 5 Bangladesh batsmen that were just hoping and praying while they were in the field. Just don't let Australia outbat us. Keep it to 330, 340, and we know we'll give you something. How do you manage to convince the bowlers or spread that to your bowling when you know that's your weak element?
I don't think you try and convince them. I think you just try and give them as much support as you possibly can. You keep trusting them. You keep backing them in.
What I'm trying to say is, how can you pass that message on? Just Bangladesh fans will be saying, God, if they would have only kept it at 340, 330, we had a real game.
But you've got to understand, every one of those bowlers, I'm sure, is trying as hard as they possibly can. They're not They're not trying to bowl poorly. You know, they're giving their best effort every single time. It's just that the quality's not quite there yet. I felt as though there was a bit more professionalism in the Australian bowling side of things, and certainly in the field. The Australians, I thought, put in a very committed effort in the field, and I felt as though that was the area that Bangladesh was just below. But from a batting point of view, they're not too far behind Australia in that department.
That's huge. That's huge. That's a great compliment to the
So you can imagine they've got
Yes,
333 against Australian batting, and Australia has got 380 or 385 against the Bangladeshi bowling.
Yeah.
So you can tell that sometimes possibly the Bangladeshi batting is better than the Australian
I mean,
batting.
330.